Hello, my name is Ashley, this is Faith Raptors and welcome. Welcome back. So, we've got a vlog. There is some interesting things happening this week, including Toast is neuter and intros. Yay! A bit stressed about this, not gonna lie. I want to film a couple of videos today as well. That's what we're gonna do. I think I'm gonna go film one of the videos I wanted to film. Then me and Rat Dad are going to go to the shop and get some emotional support Coca-Cola. And then it will be a good time to start intros. I'm a bit nervous if you can't already tell. So, in that last clip, I liked you. It is way too dim to film a video right now, so I'm not going to do it. I love the whole weather season. It's not great for filming videos. So what I've decided to do is to empty out a couple of the things that I'm going to need for intros, plus the cage I'm going to use for Toast hospital cage. So we've got a bunch of stuff that needs to be emptied. So I'm going to start these intros because it's only going to be 5 of them in a show tank. Then I'm assuming they're going to move up to something this size. This bedding, emptying this out actually kills me because this bedding is clean, but this was the cage that I did the last. Oh, bedding in my hair. This was the cage that I did the last intro attempt in, and Toast and Azrael had a fight, hence why Toast is getting neutered. And there was blood, and there's blood on the substrate. Rather than that, it's really clean. So I'm also going to do. This is the. This is the Pets at Home hamster cage, which I'm going to do for Toast's hospital cage, I think. Regardless, if I don't use it for the hospital cage, I'll use it for the intro cage, and so it will need to be cleaned anyway. It's bedding everywhere! Oh my god. That hammock is just full of snowflake shavings. I'm not sure how I feel about snowflake shavings because I like how they're light coloured, and so when they're peed on you can see. I like how easy they are to hoover up, but I really don't like how much they just spread out and get everywhere. They're some of the worst shavings for that. So we're going to take this into the bin because this is what I used for Sinner's hospital cage when he had his lump removed. It's grown back now, which I think I might talk about in this video because there's a bunch of stuff going on about that. So to this video, we've got today, tomorrow, I think I'm probably just going to do it for the rest of the week because we've got the vet that's coming on Friday as well. So yeah. So I don't know if you can hear me, but this is generally how I will clean things out. This is hot water on the most forceful setting, and I'm going to clean these out. So I've decided I'm going to do show tank, small hamster cage, big hamster cage, and then small hamster cage for the hospital cage. So I'll have to sort that out tomorrow.
half and those two. Get some new friends.
Azrael. So, as you can see, that intro attempt did not go to plan, and I have been on the phone, and Azrael is also getting neutered this week on Thursday, so there'll be 2 neuters in this vlog. This is going to be a really great vlog for you. You're welcome. Now I have decided that because of just how bonded these two are and how they don't like being at the vet, when I took them to the vet for tiffin, they both were huddled together and they didn't like it. So I feel like Toast to go through that by himself is just not fair, and to have Tiffin by himself at home as well, they're going to go together. But because they're both the same colour and I want to be sure that nobody mixes them up and neuters the wrong rat, I'm going to put some Sharpie on Toast's tail. Toasty! I'm going to put a Sharpie on his tail so they can see the difference. And that's what I'm going to do right now. Don't know if you can see, but up there those boys want real big attention. But yeah, I'm just going to get Toasters here, trying to get him into this so that I can mark his tail. Maybe I can do it like this. No, I can't put the top through the bars. But you need to come this way so I can reach your tail. Come on. Oh, did that fail? I can't tell. I'm going to put this in the bag and do it on the day, like Radad suggested. So, now that my plans for the day have been thoroughly destroyed, Azrael, I've decided I'm going to film a video that I wanted to film today, which should be probably out before this vlog, the video before this vlog. I'm going to talk about Tonkinese as a variety. I think it's really interesting and I love talking about shaded variety, so I'm going to do that. And then it will be dinner time for us, and then dinner time for the ratties after that. And I think I'm going to do wet food today because I haven't done it in a couple of days, and I need something to keep me sane when it comes to these friggin' rats at the moment. Very testing my patience of you, everyone. So I got my order from Boggle Buddies. The box kind of was destroyed, but what I ordered, another one of these pinecone perches. I absolutely love them. I think they're great. They're great for foraging, they're great just as a perch, and yeah, they really are just, I just love them very much. Then I also got this, which is a bed, but it's like a perch, so you have all the hardware here to be able to screw it to the side of the cage, which is just so cute. I'm gonna have to varnish this though before putting it in the cage. And then I got some sprays, so I got 2 sunflowers, some flax and some wheat. Thanks, Emmy. So, Toast has been dropped off. I managed to get them in the carrier very easily this morning, which was a nice surprise. Tiffin is with him because I feel like it's just going to be less stressful for the both of them to be there together. It's not what I would normally do, because I would normally like to keep them separate so they so I can tell when they're pooing and stuff like that. But just in this case, I think it's better for all of them, the two of them. I'm so glad that sorry, I'm crossing a road trying to vlog. It's not the best course of action. Okay, it's so nice having vets that like are really great vets, but also trust me to know like what's going on. She just said that she was at like a conference thing and was sat next to Adele, and it was just very funny. So yeah, gonna go to Asda, see what pizzas they have, and then I'm gonna go home, and then obviously come back later to pick him up. Hi. So I'm just sat here at the computer, about to edit the video that I filmed yesterday, and this is the boys' cage here, and Sinner woke up to go to the toilet, and I looked at him, and the lump is just so much bigger. I have not experienced anything like this. I'm just going to show you just how big it is. I don't know whether you can see, but like, it's so massive, and it's going to start impacting his movement at some point. I'm really, really upset about it, and it's really caught me off guard just how much it's grown, even since yesterday. So I think I'm going to see if I can bring him in and see if they can do something, like maybe do a fine needle aspiration just to make sure that it is a tumour, and then I feel like we might have to say goodbye to him because it's so big and it's growing so fast that I don't want it to get to a point where it's rubbing and it's affecting things, and he's such a lovely, lovely boy as well, and it's just not fair. It's just not fair. So, here's Mr. Toasty after his neuter. He's a very wriggly boy, but it looks very clean, so I'm going to put him in his cage. Go on. And with Mr. Tiffin, so they can settle down. Here's Mr. Tiffin. Go in there. Good boys. They've got their water bottle, and it will be dinner time soon. And yeah, these oldies I feel like I'm being mugged by them, even though they've already got their dinner. What are you doing, Maccabee? What are you doing? These little faces always manage to cheer me up. Yeah. So Toast is doing well post-neuter. Enjoying some malt paste with his brother. And I'll do you an update in a little bit, which will be the next clip for you. Hi, so as you can tell from those clips previous to this, and maybe the title of this video has turned into a really hard week. We've had to say goodbye to 3 of our rats, 2 yesterday and 1 tonight, 1 this afternoon. I'm just in our little hallway with the babies. They haven't been out for a while and they're used to coming out every night, and I just needed a little bit of cheery something whilst I tell you what's happened, because it's been a lot, and I do feel quite sad right now. So as you saw yesterday, after I dropped Toast off, Grover's come to say hello. Yesterday, after I dropped Toast off at the vet for his neuter, which all went well, by the way, he's doing very well, I looked over at the cage, and because I was sat by there because that's where the computer is, and I turned and looked and they were all there and wanted to see me, and there was Sinner, and his lump was so big, and you can see from the video that I filmed, it was really big, and it had grown really quickly as well. That was the other thing, that if it was growing slowly, that size of lump I wouldn't have made the same decision, but because it was growing so quick and I didn't know how it was going to develop, and all of that, that's why I chose to have him put to sleep on yesterday afternoon. It's really sad because he wasn't really old. He was only 18 months, and he was just such a wonderful rat, and don't get me, they're having a fight behind me. Hey! He was such a lovely boy with other rats, with people. Yeah, it was just really sad, and I wasn't expecting to lose him next. And I was really sad that the surgery didn't give him much more time. I'm glad that the surgery recovery was easy, because I think that would have made me feel even worse if the surgery recovery was difficult and then it grew back anyway. But yeah, so that happened. Then when I had gotten home from putting Sinner to sleep and picking Toast up from the vet, I had a quiet couple of hours, and then we were having dinner, and we were just about to have dinner, just ordered some food, because I didn't feel like cooking yesterday, obviously. I looked over at my retirement cage where my oldies are. Well, I didn't actually look. I actually had a feeling. I was like, I feel like Osiris is dead. Like, that's, I just had like a gut feeling. And I hadn't had a proper look at any of the rats. Obviously they've been fed and medicated where necessary, but I hadn't had a proper look at any of the rats. And Osiris was, everyone else was in the basket together, and then Osiris was just underneath the hide, hunched up, really puffy. I don't think he'd eaten that day, and he looked like he was already going. And this was at about 7:20 when I noticed this, so this is now out of hours time, and I had the gut sinking feeling, and I was like, okay, give him somewhere to baby, have dinner, because I hadn't really eaten very much yesterday, and I knew I needed to eat so I don't feel unwell. And without going too TMI into my anxiety, when I feel really anxious I don't eat, and it becomes a really vicious cycle. So I needed to eat something. And so I spent 10 minutes having some food and checked back on him, and he was just laying there with his face in the wait-up baby, hadn't even like tried to eat it. I mean, maybe he tried to eat it and he just ended up with his face in it. He was just not okay. So I called the emergency vet and I went in, and I've really got to say, and I don't like speaking badly about vets and things like that, because it's a super tough profession, and nobody's perfect. People make mistakes and animals die, and I don't like putting up videos talking ill of vets, because I feel like they're incredible people and they have an incredibly tough job. However, and despite what I'm going to say, all of the staff that saw me were lovely, they were really nice, but the service was just not good. We were sat in the waiting room, and I told them that my rat was dying, and we were sat in the waiting room for an hour whilst they dealt with a missing dog, like a stray dog that came in, and I had to go up to the desk and be like, my rat is literally dying in this carrier, can I be seen please? And eventually I was seen, and then it just took so long, and it was so unnecessary, and I was left waiting with him for ages for the vet to come back and check his heart after the medicine had been administered. So I was just left there waiting, like, I don't know whether he's gone yet or whether he's still alive. I don't know, just there with him stuck. And I get that it's an emergency vet and that it's difficult when there's only one vet on, and she's very busy. There's lots of things going on in that practice, but it wasn't very good. And I spoke to somebody on the way out who left their cat there for it had a really big laceration that's like down to the fat layer, and he was being stitched up, and she was leaving as I was leaving. I normally get taxis, but she offered to give me a lift, which was, after that like entire day, was just honestly restored my hope in like people and the world after having such a shit day. And so she took me home, but as we were driving, she was talking about how she's not had a great experience there, and part of me wondered whether, you know, it was because it's rats, and we all know that sometimes happens. But she said that she had the same experience with her dog, with her son's dog there. And the thing with this emergency vet is that where it is in Coventry, it's like the only emergency vet for like 30 miles north of Coventry. So people as far north as Tamworth come down to this emergency vet. And the service is really bad, and it's really expensive, and the service is really bad. So I don't think I'm going to go there again. There's a 24-hour vet in Leamington Spa that I think I'm going to try. I went there with Remy and they were really good. I just didn't think Azrael had that time to make that extra journey, but then we were waiting in the waiting room anyway, so what I thought was getting him seen sooner turned out not to be. So yeah, that was yesterday. And so I was messaging my friend Emma and talking about just like how much of a challenging time I was having at the vet, and obviously she was angry on my behalf. And then when I woke up this morning, I was even more angry about it. This sort of tiredness and emptiness of yesterday had been replaced by anger, and I'm still really angry about that. One of the reasons why I'm sharing it, because it made an awful like situation like so much worse than it needed to be. And so this morning, yesterday evening, Maccabee, he's been on heart meds and antibiotics for a while, and his breathing was quite noisy. I think I've mentioned it earlier on in the video. I can't remember. And he's been on those meds for a while, but he was still progressively getting worse. And this morning he was gasping and like making choking noises when he tried to eat, and gasping. And so I booked an appointment and we took him down to the vet this afternoon, and he was put to sleep as well. So in 2 days, that's 3 rats, and I haven't experienced this much loss on this scale since my outbreak, and that was a really difficult week, and it's quite triggering. Thankfully, it's not an overarching something those two boys, they both had their own old age problems, and Cinna was a completely different thing. So it's not as bad as that was, but it is quite difficult. So yeah, and it's just really bad. It's just really sad. One thing that is helping me a little bit is the fact that Macabilaka and Osiris are now together again. Those three brothers. Stop fighting. Stop it. Mummy's sad. But yeah, this is like the reality of rat owning, that like sometimes you have weeks like this where so many rats pass away, especially the older ones at the same time as each other. Obviously we lost Lacka last month as well, and Temple last month. So that's 5 in the past sort of 6 weeks. Maybe 4 weeks actually. And then obviously Toast got neutered yesterday, and Azrael is getting neutered today, plus the fact that like it's quite hectic around here in general, because all the boys are separated, the retirement group is separated, the babies are separate, Tiffin and Toast are separate, and now Azrael and Stenda are also separate. And earlier on my intro time, you know, went to poo, and that just goes to show that like just how much Cinna's lump had grown, that I felt okay doing intros when I did on Monday, and then by Tuesday, the next day, it was too far gone. Like, it was growing so quickly. I'm gonna go because this clip has been really long. I'm gonna try and get some clips of the babies playing, and then we can carry on with the rest of the vlog. I have a feeling this is gonna be a really long one because we've got Azrael's neuter tomorrow as well, and then Adele is coming, my mobile vet, to see these two babies and Tiffin and Toast just for a checkup for her membership scheme. I love you too, Kiryu. I love you too. So yeah, I'm really sorry that this video isn't the happy sort, but it's a realistic sort, and yeah. Okay. See you later. So, it's been an eventful morning. I just went to drop Azrael off for his neuter, and in the taxi on the way there, the conversation started off great. It started off talking about rats and snakes and breeding animals and the different colours, and then we started talking about animals, and then we started talking about dinosaurs. And then the taxi driver started with conspiracy theories. So I had to like run out of there. So I am just on the way back now. I picked up a couple of leaves for the stick insects. I didn't bring my scissors, so I couldn't get a lot, but they're running low. I'll go out later or tomorrow and get some bigger branches. But yeah, that's where we're up to today. I'll probably not vlog a lot today. I'll probably vlog when I get Azrael and show his incision and stuff. But yeah. Just picked Azrael up. Everything went okay, which is good. Gonna put them back in a cage when I get home. Make sure he's comfy. Make sure he's eating. It'll be dinner time soon, so that should be the test of that. And yeah, I got this umbrella from TikTok Shop, and it was 88p with a discount. It is really sunny, but also raining. But I don't see a rainbow, so I'm a bit annoyed because this means there should be a rainbow. But I've got the boys in here. I don't know if you can be able to see them, but they're in there. And yeah, I'm so excited to not have to get a taxi to the vet tomorrow because she's coming to ours. But yeah, see you later. No, don't do that. Hello. So this is going to be the last clip in this vlog because this has been a long vlog and a very emotionally long week. So Adele just came round to check on our 4 new rats, Tiffin and Toast, Kiwi and Grover, to give them the all clear. So Toast got the all clear. His new sight looks great. She complimented the surgery that my other vet did. Then when it comes to Tiffin, she actually smelled something, like infection, pus kind of situation, in one of his ears, which could be explained by the previous head till not being fully treated, which can sometimes happen. So she has prescribed some ear drops, which I'll be giving him for a couple of weeks. Hopefully that will clear up that. I'm going to also see if I can notice the smell so I can be able to tell when it's gone. Then Grover and Kiryu, I haven't mentioned this in the vlog yet, but there has been a history of them having soft poos and a little bit of diarrhea at the beginning. And we have been treating it with probiotics, and we did send out a fecal, which came back completely normal, so no parasites and no infection. So the next sort of thing that it could be, because it's still a sort of recurrent problem with them, the next thing would be to do a diet trial to see if there's something in the diet that is causing it. So really frustratingly, annoyingly, the easiest way to do this with rats without having to pick apart your mix is to start them on a really bland nugget, which I don't like, see if that helps, and then if the problem resolves, then start slowly adding ingredients back in. And if there's a poop problem after that, then you can kind of see which problem is, like, which ingredient is causing that problem. And if it isn't food based, if this trial, just a short trial of nuggets, if that doesn't work, then, so it's basically like using the hydrolyzed protein sort of foods with dogs or in cats and things. If that doesn't work, then it's likely something inflammatory and we might try steroids. It's interesting that it's both of them. In my head, the fact that it's both of them kind of points towards either it's something genetic or it's something infectious. And obviously the infectious has been ruled out because the test came back, the poop was clear of parasites and clear of any infections. So it isn't those two things. So we're going to trial them on nothing else but nuggets, which really breaks my heart, but it will help us to see what is going on with them and if we have to go with medicine and things like that. So over time, the problem has sort of gotten better. So hopefully one of these things that we're going to try will solve it for them, because it's not nice to have to deal with that on my behalf and on their behalf. And yeah, I hope that this video was interesting, maybe insightful into what it's like to be a rat keeper, and maybe this will be helpful for some people who want to start owning rats, or they want to start owning like a bigger group of rats, because this is sometimes the reality of rat keeping and you just have to weather the storm and get through it until you get to the end of it. And I hope by the end of this week we're through the big hoo-has going on here. And I will say thanks very much for anybody who has commented on my post on Instagram about my boys who passed away. All the lovely comments have been wonderful, especially the ones who have particular fondness for some of my boys that are no longer with us. And yeah, so yeah, thanks very much for watching. Please do subscribe. Not all my videos are so miserable. I do like to share an honest pet keeping experience though, and obviously this is all that comes along with keeping rats. And yeah, thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.